What is going on, y'all? Appreciate y'all for pulling up, tapping in with your boy. You are in, I will say, the Breakfast Club. This is the Neighborhood Book Club. I am your host, Zoe Moss. Man, I appreciate it. You know, it's love that y'all pull in and tap in with me. I pray y'all get it all back in return. Today we are in part 4 of Rich Dad Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. Before we get into the details, before we get into the knowledge nuggets, all right, I'm gonna need you to like for me. Go ahead and like the video. Go ahead and subscribe for your boy. Stay up to date with all the posts and videos. And lastly, share it with your loved ones. Each one, teach one. You dig me? Now, without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and get into this thing, man. Let's go. First thing we're talking about today is taxes, bro. The origination and the beginning of taxes, pretty much a Robin Hood story. Taxes originated because kings wanted contributions from the kingdom that they had for wars. And so it started out, you know, rich people gave money and funds. People that were bakers and things like that probably gave little bits of food. Over time, rich people found ways to get out of contributing. Rich people to this day are still able to maneuver their way through, and they do it through the same method, which one comes through their financial education, understanding how taxes work, as well as two, understanding business itself, okay? They don't allow their excess money that is in their business to leave their business. And what it comes down to is that rich people have decided that they will not allow anyone to just take something from them, okay? It's a mentality that we are going to fight back. It's a matter of being in the know. It's a matter of knowing what you have, what is wanted, what the rules are to the situation you have, and as well as using your resources, and using the knowledge, okay? And if you don't have knowledge, gain the knowledge necessary, okay? There are plenty of financial advisors and YouTube videos and documents that you can look up and research in order to gain more information that is out here. But knowledge itself, again, and we continue to preach it throughout all of these videos, is one of the most powerful things that we have allotted to us. The knowledge that we gain, it allows us to get it, keep it, and multiply what we have. You understand me? So with having the heart, with having heart enough to not let anybody take from you, and having the knowledge as to how to avoid it in the first place, or give as minimal as possible, you're able to keep things in your pocket. It's said that it costs less to educate yourself than it is in getting punked or getting your money taken from you. In order to develop your financial IQ, it's best to go through accounting. It's best to go through investing and marketing and law. So we're gonna get into piece number 2 from there. When we speak on investing your money, right, many people are fearful in investing. I understand that nobody wants to lose money, but we have to understand that in this life, it's the bold that get ahead, okay? Not necessarily the smartest, not necessarily the fastest. Who's really willing to put themselves out there to you know, make a home run. Mind you, bold people don't care what other people think. It's really down to the bolts in the situation, and they are willing to go on a road where the few travel, okay? Oftentimes, people that have talents and abilities, their self-doubt holds them back, or not go fully into what it is our endeavor is. We oftentimes get caught up in what we're not good at versus using all of our strength and power into going what we're strongest in. Have tenacity, right? Have heart, have balls, you know, have the guts, whatever you want to call it, but you got to put yourself out there in order to get something back. So when we talk on the topic of money and investments, right, most people would rather play it safe, but we have to understand that although caution and awareness is important, being too conservative doesn't win you the game, okay? When you walk into a situation hoping that you don't lose, your whole mentality is different, because your game plan isn't in the mindset of someone who's trying to win. You're not taking the risk. You're not making the attacks and the moves necessary in order to win. The key to the risk in the first place is simply understanding the risk. And there's risk in everything in one form or another. It simply can't be avoided. So being scared of it or being scared of change is just going to put you into a hole. We have to embrace it. We're embracing constant change. We have to embrace what's happening. We have to welcome it. We have to start it and begin it at times, okay? Being scared to lose is something you can't hold on to or cling to, because everyone's going to lose. The reality of the situation is there's no champion in this life that got there and didn't lose any games. But the difference between it is that winners are inspired by their losses while losers quit from theirs. Part 3 that we'll get into, point 3, lesson 3, is that make business moves, make investments, get assets that just make sense to you. Keep it simple, because if you can't understand it, then you shouldn't be in it. I'm not gonna turn around and be like, oh, let me get into AI, artificial intelligence, because I don't understand what that is right now. As I gain more knowledge, maybe there's pieces of that I can touch into. But when you put money into things that you don't understand, then chances are you don't know when you're being manipulated, when things are on the wrong track, and when it's time for you to get out or double down. Education will show you when you're taking a risk. And we all have to understand from there that the best thing we want to get into is calculated risk. Know exactly what it is you have to gain, know exactly what it is you have to lose. And what people may fail to realize is that the more you learn about said topic, the less risk there is for you. Financial education, knowledge is the key to minimize your risk. And the goal is to get great ROI. There are 4 areas where you're able to collect assets. Robert references them as real estate, investments, business and corporations, and taxes. But of all these things, time is our greatest asset. It is our greatest resource. As you get into your businesses, you do your research, you do your due diligence, and you see how businesses get tax breaks, or you see how investments get tax breaks. You see the loans are for each thing. Robert uses a quote saying that great opportunities are seen in the mind first. We build our reality in our mind first, and the results will show. It's a matter of building your investments, and some people may say how. I'll pull a reference from Robert's book. He has a 4-step kind of process in order to create such thing. 1, find your opportunity, okay? 1 that others may not be seeing. 2, raise money, raise capital for it. Other people have money. You don't always have to have the money. Other people have money and they may not have time. 3, organize smart people. You don't have to know everything, but if you can get people that know pieces of it and bring them together, that's an extremely powerful thing, okay? That's a megazord. And I'm gonna leave it with this: what you know is your greatest asset, and what you don't know is your greatest liability, okay? That's why we're pulling people together. That's why we're spreading information, and that's what we're doing here on the Neighborhood Book Club. Alright, that's it for today's video, man. That is part 4 of Rich Dad Poor Dad. I'm your host, Zoe Mossman. I appreciate y'all for pulling up, tapping in with me. Like I said, man, we going through the processes. Not a master at this, but I aspire to be. Part of me feels like the best way to go about it is sharing with those, and I pray that y'all sharing it with y'all people that are around you. You know, each one teach one, man. We trying to groom ourselves. We trying to grow to be the best that we can out here, man. I'm gonna go ahead and dip up out of here, man. I'm on to the next one. I'm gonna catch y'all next week.